Released by Konami in 1989 on the Game Boy, Castlevania The Adventure, also known as The Legend of Dracula, would elaborate more of the origin lore of Dracula and his feud with the Belmont clan. For story, the game features a warrior named Christopher Belmont who continues the fight against the vampire Count Dracula, as it takes place after Curse of Darkness, but before Castlevania II Belmont's Revenge. For gameplay, the game is an action platformer, though expected stairways have been replaced with ropes and falling platforms across 4 wide stages with a set amount of time for each. For combat, Christopher's only weapon is the whip, as there are no set weapons in this game and hearts are used to restore health. Instead, the whip is leveled up every time a crystal is picked up, and leveled down every time the player takes a hit. Keep in mind that the story and chronology of this game would be updated by its remake, Castlevania The Adventure Rebirth. The story only gets larger from here, so let's cut it down to size with a recapitation. Set in the year 1596, Christopher Belmont is the descendant of the legendary Trevor Belmont and his wife and adventuring companion Sypha Belnades. Christopher is aware of his legacy and knows more of the history of the ancient foe Dracula. More specifically, 100 years ago he was Count Vlad Tepes Dracula, a sorcerer and fervent demon worshipper who built a castle on the outskirts of Transylvania wherein he conducted dark rituals. He would summon all manners of monsters from other worlds to serve under him in his quest to obtain eternal life, eventually becoming a demon king with incredible powers. Of course, Trevor Belmont and his allies will confront and defeat the transformed devil, though as 100 years pass, it seems rumors of a 100-year resurrection cycle were true. Fortunately, the Belmonts are ready, having trained their current champion Christopher in the ways of the vampire killer Whip, who is personally able to coat his whip in fire and fling the flames out as fireballs. As he gets started crossing a graveyard, small creepers prowl about as Christopher finds even creepier giant eyeballs rolling and exploding before him. Corrupt eagles dive down to distract Christopher from the murky mudmen that rise up from the desecrated grounds. The armored giant Gobans is the gatekeeper guarding his master against the likes of Christopher, showing the Count is taking no chances with his revival. Dimly lit caverns lie just ahead for the young Belmont, as within lurk overly familiar bats and a new enemy called the Punaguchi that spits bouncing balls of raw corruption that threatens to melt down even Christopher's trusted whip. Also new to the ranks of darkness are Zoldos, rogue reapers ready to send their spinning scythes towards Christopher, as they surprise him with their boomerang-like returning ability. Descending down the dismal depths of the deadly dungeon, Christopher must cross rickety rope bridges that Big Eyes are keen to destroy with their explosions, setting the warrior to an easy death. Dueling now with a swiftly digging mole man, Christopher now finds an alternative entrance into the castle. Like a nightmarish maw, the castle walls and ceiling are lined with rows of inescapable spikes, and as the confines of the castle close down upon Christopher to eat him like a sandwich, his quicker whip snaps through the mechanics of the traps to stall them long enough to dash through. Even the floor offers no safe haven as Death Tower is keen to earn its namesake, tirelessly chasing Christopher as he climbs atop the castle keep. However, waiting for him there is the demonic Death Bat, a nightmarish man-bat that still fails to match strength against the warrior. Now entering Castlevania proper, animated armored knights are not just for show as they attempt to ambush Christopher during his ambitious assault. With his superior agility, Christopher climbs up and over the spike traps thrusting out to impale him, using them as platforms to reach the real master of the castle, Dracula. In a dark ritual room, lined with arcane circles and precariously perched over a pit of spikes, Count Dracula makes his appearance. The sorcerer initially keeps his distance by flinging fireballs in every direction, but Christopher keeps on the pressure. Forced to adopt a monstrous vampire bat form, the swarms of bats he summons to his side are of little aid, as Christopher Belmont defeats Dracula in the wake of his foretold resurrection. As the game ends, the unholy sanctum collapses as Christopher escapes in time and looks on from a distance. Satisfied with his work, he leaves, but after some time Dracula bursts from the debris and flies away in his bat form, showing it takes more than one fight to put him down for good, as he is already plotting his revenge.